A lot of the shelters require you to leave the premises at 8 in the morning and not return until somewhere around 3. And so, of course, when I had a new baby, I was like, well, where are we gonna go? And then they told me about the living room. And I think it's awesome that they have separate, where the kids play and where the adults stay, because it's supportive, I mean, for a kid's environment. My son has temperamental issues from my use when I was pregnant. He has behavioral issues, and everybody here is very supportive. He is very energetic. He doesn't always listen on the first time, and the staff here is so supportive. I mean, it's just a really nurturing environment. So through the living room, they have paid for me, sponsored me to get therapy, which I'm currently enrolled in, and it seems so far to be really successful. I'm getting a lot of help through that. Had I not had that, okay, you guys. So every day is another day working on my sobriety.
I had worked all my life, and I became disabled, and my disability got so much worse at one point that I couldn't work, and I basically lost everything. And the first night I spent in a shelter about 4.5 years ago, the first thing you hear about is the living room. There's a lot of services here, obviously. I mean, they have stretched that money just as far as it can go. And that's usually something that's promoted here, but the part that I got that was more important to me was the unconditional love. It's in my heart, most definitely. It's part of who I am now, and I am better for it, because up until coming here and feeling this kind of safety in the midst of total crisis is just, I mean, that's a gift. It's a definite gift.
At the living room, we really work on getting people to the point where they are resilient enough to deal with their situation, whether they're homeless or couch surfing, at risk of being homeless. So we do what it takes for that individual to be able to pull their lives together, basically. So we feed them, we give them resources that help with medical needs and that sort of thing. But overall, we're dealing with getting them to be able to be self-reliant and independent.
I'm originally born and raised in San Francisco, and came here to Sonoma County 10 years ago, and about last year, about the same time, I lost my daughters due to addiction to drugs, and I lost my car, my apartment, my Section 8, and my daughters. I kind of found it a great place for me to come and meet with other women and then tell my story, in the hopes that I can help other women stay in recovery, or if they want recovery, they can come and talk with me, and I can tell them my story about my now going on 9 months clean. And I'm very close to getting my daughters to coming home. I say that mommy's doing homework, and that's what I'm doing, because I don't want them to, you know, they know a little bit about what's going on, but not a lot of it, so I want to keep their innocence. And I just said, mom's doing a lot of homework, and when mom does the big test, then when the big test gets the A, then you get to come home.
I was devastated because we had nowhere to go. We thought we were going to sleep in our car, which we ended up sleeping in our car, and maybe camping out for a night because we had nowhere to go. And also we sometimes when we don't have food or diapers, I come here, and this was the first place that I went to when I became homeless. The mothers here are a big support system for everybody. We all support each other, and you know, we're all friends, and I'm really happy for that. I really do feel safe here.
I'm now living out of my car on the streets of Santa Rosa. and I found the living room, and they really actually saved my life. I didn't know how to be homeless. The living room, they feed you breakfast and then lunch. And I remember the first time I had a meal there, I literally started crying because it was like eating a home-cooked meal, you know, that your mom would make you, and the women embracing you, letting you know everything's gonna be okay. It's not that bad, and there's a lot of support. Oh, it's just for women, and they have counselors, and anything you need, they have the answer for, but you need to do the footwork, you know. So I was blessed I found this place. I don't know where I'd be.
The living room is a safe harbor for women who are in transition and kids, and it is that safety net that is absolutely necessary.
That if the living room wasn't here, there'd be a lot of women and children walking around in the streets. Homelessness is a reality. It's something that is today and very real. There's a lot of women with young children who don't have the father to support them or help them in making a life for themselves. And so their choice is to live in shelters, and these shelters put these babies out on the street at 8 o'clock in the morning. If it wasn't for the living room, they would have no shelter during the day.
The living room wasn't here, I don't know what I would do.
So I don't know where I'd be if I didn't come here. I really don't.
Without the living room, I honestly don't think I would have made it.